You're watching the Weiss channel. Today we're going to solve some inequalities. All right. For example, 5g plus 1 less than negative 4g plus 8. Treat this less than sign just like you would treat an equals sign, meaning we're going to add 4g to both sides. Okay? 5g plus 4g is 9g plus 1 less than 8. Now I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. I get 9g is less than 7. Divide both sides by 9 and you get g is less than 7/9. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the drop-down menu on Delta Math because it's going to give you an option here for less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So you're going to have to use the drop-down menu on Delta Math for that, okay? That'll be the answer for the first set of questions. I've also got a set of questions that will express using interval notation. If I was to use interval notation here, if g is less than 7/9, that means it goes all the way to negative infinity in that direction, right? Infinity, negative infinity and positive infinity always have a parenthesis, not a bracket, okay? Because it's never actually equal to infinity or negative infinity. And then comma 7/9, it goes up to 7/9, which is also a parenthesis, not a bracket, because it's not equal to 7/9. If there was an equals line here, then there would be a bracket here, okay? 5b minus 3 greater than 9b plus 4. I'm going to minus 9b from both sides. By the way, in order for inequalities to work, you have to have the letter on the left-hand side. You can't put it on the right side. Like, for example, I could say x equals 7 or 7 equals x. That doesn't matter. But when you're doing an inequality, it's got to be on the left-hand side. Has to be. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. Okay? So I'm always going to minus the letter from the right-hand side. Okay? So I'm minusing 9b from both sides. I get negative 4b minus 3 greater than 4. Add 3 to both sides. I have negative 4b greater than 7. Divide by negative 4. Wait a minute. Wah, wah, wah. Warning. Wah, wah, wah. When you divide by a negative, this guy flips direction. Okay? So b is less than negative 7/4. Okay? And in interval notation, less than negative 4 means it goes all the way to negative infinity up to 7/4, negative 7/4, and parenthesis around 7/4. Okay? Over here, I'm going to minus 10b from both sides. You know what? While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and minus 5 to both sides, okay? So I get negative 14b is greater than or equal to negative 1. Divide by negative 14. Wah, wah, wah. Warning, divide by a negative. When you divide by a negative, this guy flips. It's going to be less than or equal to positive 1/14, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So that's your answer, but interval notation would be negative infinity to positive 1/4. Since it's less than or equal to, it's a bracket. Okay? All right. Over here, I'm going to minus 10m to both sides. While I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides. I'm going to get negative 1m is less than or equal to negative 12. Divide by negative 1. Wah, wah, wah. Warning, divide by a negative. When you divide by a negative, that guy flips. Only when you divide by a negative, by the way. If you don't divide by a negative, like over here, we divided by a positive. There's no flipping. Didn't flip. We didn't divide by a negative. Only when you divide by a negative does it flip. okay? So you have negative 12 divided by negative 1, which is positive 12, okay? M is greater than or equal to positive 12, which is the answer, but interval notation will look like this, where greater than or equal to 12, you'll have a bracket at 12 up to infinity with a parenthesis, okay? So I'm giving a set of problems that just look like this, expressed using interval notation. I don't need you to show any work, all right? If it says x is less than negative 10, it goes to from negative infinity to negative 10, and notice it's a parenthesis because it's not equal to. Okay. X less than or equal to negative 4, okay, goes to negative infinity, but a bracket around negative 4 because it's less than or equal to negative 4. X greater than 8, okay, from positive 8 all the way to infinity. Parentheses on both sides because it's not equal to either one. X is greater than or equal to 4, a bracket at 4 up to infinity. Okay, parenthesis around infinity. You've been watching the Weiss channel. That.